The skyline of new arrows burned gold under the twin suns. From the top floor of Vale Industries, the city looked like a dream, glass towers glimmering with energy conduits, sky lanes full of hovercars streaking trails of light. But to Adrian Vale, the dream had started to rot. He was 35, CEO of one of the largest human-run tech firms in the Federation. Vale Industries built translation AIs, fusion batteries, and cybernetic implants. On the surface, everything was perfect. Profits up, expansion to 3 new planets, and a spotless reputation. Yet the numbers whispered a different story. His chief accountant kept blaming supply chain fluctuations. His head of security swore there were no leaks. But every month, more credits bled away into nowhere. Adrian didn't trust anyone anymore. And then she arrived. Chapter 1, The Visitor. It was a Tuesday evening when the receptionist called. "Sir, there's someone here asking to see you. She says it's urgent." "Name?" She didn't give one. "Says you'll want to hear what she has to say." Adrian sighed, rubbing his temples. "Send her up." The door slid open moments later, and in stepped a figure that didn't belong in his world of steel and numbers. Her skin was faintly luminescent, a soft violet hue that shimmered like water. Her eyes glowed faint silver, ringed by faint markings that pulsed when she breathed. She wore simple travel leathers, dusty from the lower districts. "Mr. Vale," she said, bowing slightly. "You don't know me, but someone's stealing from you." He blinked. "Excuse me?" Her gaze was calm, unwavering. "You're missing 23 million credits from off-world transactions. The theft started 4 cycles ago. It's coming from inside your company." He leaned back, studying her. "And you are—" "My name's Seren," she said. "I used to work for them." "For who?" "The ones bleeding you dry." Chapter 2, The Proof. At first, he thought she was a con artist. But then she placed a small hollow cube on his desk and tapped it. The room filled with floating numbers and projection logs, encrypted transaction chains, time-stamped with internal routing codes. Every trail led to the same conclusion. Someone had built a fake vendor account to siphon credits through shell corporations on distant moons. Only someone on the inside could have done it. He frowned. "Where did you get this?" Seren hesitated. "Let's just say your enemies sometimes make the mistake of hiring people with a conscience. Why come to me? Because they'll destroy everything you built and blame it on the aliens in your workforce." That made him pause. She wasn't wrong. Half his staff were from non-human colonies. One public scandal about fraud, and his human investors would turn on them instantly. Adrian studied her again. "Why should I trust you?" Her silver eyes met his. "Because if I wanted to hurt you, you'd already be ruined." He couldn't argue with that. Chapter 3, The Investigation. They worked through the night. Seren sat across from him, her long fingers flying over the hollow interface as she decrypted transaction logs faster than any human could. Her markings glowed brighter when she focused, as if her mind was wired directly to the data streams. By dawn, they'd uncovered the culprit, Marcus Heller, his operations chief and his oldest friend. Adrian felt something break inside. "He was at my side since the beginning," he muttered. "Why would he?" Seren interrupted gently. "People change when power tastes good. The harder question is, what will you do about it?" He looked out the window. The sun was rising over new arrows, washing the towers in crimson light. "I'll fire him," he said finally, "and everyone who helped him." Seren's expression softened. "You're doing what's right, but it won't be easy." "I've made peace with hard things," Adrian said quietly. Chapter 4, The Firing. The next day, Vale Industries' boardroom was silent as Adrian entered. Marcus stood at the far end, flanked by a dozen department heads. He smiled confident. "Morning, boss. What's with the emergency meeting?" Adrian placed the datapad on the table. Audit results. He tapped the screen, and the holographic display filled with incriminating transfers. Every name in the room appeared in red. For a heartbeat, no one spoke. Then Marcus laughed softly. "You're making a mistake, Adrian. These logs are fabricated." "I checked them myself," Adrian said. "And so did the Federation auditors." He hadn't told Seren he'd sent the data for verification overnight. It was a final step. Proof that everything she'd shown him was real. One by one, faces around the table turned pale. Marcus's smile faltered. "You're really doing this?" "Yes." Adrian looked around the room, his voice steady but cold. You're all terminated, effective immediately. Security will escort you out. Marcus slammed his hands on the table. You're finished. Vale, you think this company runs on ideals? You'll drown without us. Adrian met his gaze calmly. Then I'll learn to swim. He turned and walked out as security moved in. Chapter 5, Aftermath. That night, his office was quiet again. The stars of new arrows flickered outside the glass wall, cold and distant. Seren sat across from him, watching the lights below. You did it, she said softly. He nodded. Half my staff gone. My board furious. And a dozen lawsuits incoming. But you're free, she said. Adrian let out a tired laugh. Freedom's expensive. Seren smiled faintly. So is honesty. He looked at her then, really looked. There was strength in her stillness, beauty in her calm. The glow of the city painted her skin in soft gold and violet hues. Why help me? He asked again, quieter this time. Seren hesitated. Because once, I trusted someone like Marcus. He took everything. My home, my name, my people's faith in me. I couldn't undo what he did to me, but I could stop him from doing it to you. Adrian felt a knot in his chest. You lost everything? She nodded. But I survived. That's enough. He stood, crossing the window. The reflection of her silver eyes met his in the glass. You could stay, he said finally. I could use someone who actually believes in integrity. She tilted her head. You'd hire an alien fugitive? He smiled faintly. I just fire humans I couldn't trust. You saved my company. Her laughter was soft, musical. You're not what I expected, Mr. Vale. Neither are you, he said. Chapter 6, New Beginnings. Weeks passed. Seren became more than a consultant. She became his partner in rebuilding the company from scratch. Under her guidance, they implemented quantum-secure ledgers, hybrid AI organic oversight systems, and fair trade contracts with alien colonies. Investors called him reckless. Competitors called him naive. But the results spoke louder than fear. Vale Industries recovered, stronger than before. And though Adrian never admitted aloud, he realized something. His office didn't feel empty anymore when she was there. One night, as they finished another long session, Seren looked up from her terminal. You humans have strange ways of saying thank you, she said. He smiled. How do your people say it? By sharing breath. Breath. She leaned forward, close enough that he could see the soft glow in her eyes. It's symbolic, a gesture of trust. She exhaled slowly, and her breath shimmered faintly with bioluminescent mist. It brushed his skin, cool and electric. Adrian felt warmth flood his chest. I suppose I should return the favor? She nodded. He leaned in and exhaled softly. For a heartbeat, their breaths mingled in the air, light meeting light. The room seemed to fade, leaving only the pulse of two hearts learning the same rhythm. Epilogue, the whisper of trust. Months later, Federation inspectors visited Vale Industries. They found no fraud, no corruption, only a company that had rebuilt itself on transparency and trust. As the officials left, Adrian stood by the window, watching the sun set over the towers. Seren joined him silently. They said our audit was flawless, he said with a smile. Good, she murmured. That means you can finally sleep. He chuckled. Sleep's overrated. She turned to him, eyes soft. Then what's next for you, human? He looked at her, the city reflected in her silver irises. Whatever comes next, I'd rather face it with you. She smiled, the faint glow of her markings lighting her cheeks. Then you're learning. Together they stood in the quiet office, watching as the stars of new arrows flickered to life. For the first time in years, Adrian felt no fear, no doubt, just the steady, grounding truth of someone he could trust. And somewhere far below, where the city's neon veins pulsed with life, rumors began to spread about the alien woman who'd saved a human empire.